friends, today I'm going to be rounding up my favorite Amazon kitchen products for under $20. These are products that I really tested out and they're worth it. Some of them I've been using in my kitchen for literally years now, so you don't want to miss this. Alright, the first product is this milk frother. Now, I originally brought this to do what it implies, froth milk for my coffee. And let me tell you, it does that. It does an amazing job creating frothy milk to put on top of your coffees, which is great. But I actually have found that I use this milk frother for so many more things. I use it to create cold foam if I'm making cold foam coffees, or even to whip up a really quick whipped cream if I'm doing desserts. I also use it to like mix up all of my sauces if I'm making a salad dressing and I need to like emulsify it. You know, you need to mix together like the vinegars with the oils and all of the other stuff. You have like a little project where you need to mix together some sauce. You don't want to whip out your entire like hand mixer. This thing works great. This next product I love because it's amazing for what it does, but also because it saves me so much space in my kitchen, and it is this clip-on strainer. So the way that this works is you can essentially clip it onto like a pot after you've boiled some water or whatever, and then you can just strain right from the pot, which means you don't have to whip out a colander or like a strainer every time you make pasta, but this also works for so many other things. You can clip it onto a bowl if you need to strain off like excess liquid. I will wash a bunch of like berries in a bowl and then just clip this on to strain it. Basically, it eliminates needing to have a big bulky colander or strainer in your house. Now, I used to have a strainer that was like collapsible and that was really great, but it still takes up quite a bit of space. This thing basically replaces all of that. All right, next up is my oil sprayer. I probably had this for about 6 months now, and I use it all the friggin' time. I bought it originally just to use for our air fryer. At the beginning of the year, I finally became an air fryer owner and I haven't looked back. We absolutely love our air fryer, but if you've ever cooked with an air fryer, you know that lots of times it involves needing just a little bit of oil. And lots of times if you're doing something like you're making homemade cutlets or whatever, you want to just spray a little bit of oil on what you're cooking when you put it into the air fryer. And so I got this so that I could spray on olive oil, because we like to use olive oil as like our main cooking oil in our house, and you can't usually buy olive oil in spray form like at the grocery stores or whatever. I'm not really sure why. It's usually like a canola oil mix or vegetable oil mix or whatever. I'm going on a tangent. Anyways, I bought it for that reason, but now I find I use it all the time for like all sorts of other cooking. I'll spray it onto our chicken burgers before I put them on the grill, or I'll just spray it lightly onto vegetables before I put them in the oven to roast them, because it's just easier to get an even spray with this as opposed to trying to like pour it on and you're like mixing it up on the plate or whatever. So it like gives you better control. Like the milk frother, this is something I bought kind of more for a specific purpose, but now have found I use it all of the time. Okay, next up is this universal hands-free pump. It comes with pieces so that it clips into most bottles and allows you to make a hands-free dispenser out of any bottle you own. And I love this for my dish soap. It's so nice not to have to get the bottle all dirty and messy when I'm doing dishes, and it even dispenses right onto my scrubs or sponges as I clean. All right, next up is this set of rubber, I don't know if they're rubber, like silicone, I don't know exactly what they are, but of like soft reusable straws. I'd gone through a series of like different reusable straws. I tried some metal ones, and then like I heard some like horrible story about somebody impaling themselves with a metal straw, and that totally freaked me out. And obviously I have like small kids at home, so I wanted something safe, and I kind of bought these on a whim because I was like, I don't know, I guess like rubber straws, that'll be good. And I don't know, we just use them all of the time. I haven't found any need to replace them, so they're definitely the best reusable straws that I have found. They have the nice little angle edge at the bottom here, so if you're putting them into like something like a smoothie or whatever, it's not gonna get like stuff stuck. It has like a slight little angle to it, and they're really easy to clean. It even came with like a little cleaner brush, but I don't even find that I need it. I find that they're very easy to rinse out. We've probably had them almost a year now. It's pretty much allowed us to eliminate like every other straw need in our house. Next up is my set of nesting teaspoon measuring spoon sets is the word that I'm looking for. This was another product slightly bought it on a whim because I was like, wow, they're really cute. These are actually one of the best teaspoons products or sets I have ever owned for a couple of reasons. One, I love that they nest and the centerpiece is actually magnetic. So like when they nest together, they like really stay together in the drawer, which is really great. But they actually have two sides as well. So they have your typical like round top side for, you know, like how a teaspoon measuring thing usually is. It's like a circle, but they have these elongated ones on the other side, which is amazing because like a problem I never realized I had until this solved it was when you get into like bigger ones like like you can't fit a whole tablespoon into a spice jar. It doesn't fit in there. And so then you're like trying to pour it out and it doesn't work. So these skinnier elongated sides are perfect for getting down into jars if you're like measuring out baking soda or like pumpkin spice mix. I don't know, I'm trying to be seasonal, it's fall, right? So again, kind of bought them all in one because they were just cute, which they are cute, but they actually have turned out to be one of my favorite, just like for functionality and use, teaspoon sets I've ever purchased. All right, on the topic of like cute little spoons, I'm just gonna throw these ones out there. This was an absolute impulse purchase, which I feel like I'm realizing that a lot of these, I'm like, I just bought it on impulse and then they turned out to be my favorite things, which is sometimes just how things work. I have a friend on Instagram who shared these and I thought they were really cute. They're these like adorable little gold spoons and they come in like different little floral type patterns. And she was using them in coffee. But I picked up a pack of them and I find I use them for all sorts of stuff now. They're great for charcuterie plates. They're great if you like, we just had friends over for Labor Day and I made like a homemade aioli and it was like just the cutest little spoon to put in the like container to serve your aioli. I love having little things that aren't like over the top extravagant that just make meals feel more special. I'm rambling here a little bit, but when we really cut back on our spending 5 years ago, if you don't know our story, 5 years ago, we were like $70,000 in debt. We paid off all of our debt, and a big process of doing that was like learning to be home more and eat at home more. And we learned to like make dinners at home more special, right? Putting on nice music, lighting a candle, setting the table, little things to make dinner at home feel special. And so anyways, this is just like one of those little things that I feel like does that. Another product I love for the kitchen from Amazon is their bamboo scrubs and sponges. Not only are these a lot more eco-friendly and do I find them at a better price point than the grocery store, but they are also just so much more visually appealing. Things like scrubs and sponges are things that we usually leave out in the kitchen, like by our sink. And often they're like bright pink or neon yellow. So I love that these are just a lot nicer looking by the sink. I feel like it really decreases visual clutter. All right, talking about products that you didn't know you needed until you had it. I bought this kitchen scale as part of my Amazon Prime, like one of the few things I got for Amazon Prime Day. And now that I have it, I don't know how I ever lived without a kitchen scale. So often I'm reading recipes and it'll say like approximately a cup or 240 grams of flour. Lots of times this is for things like baking. I've been getting into a lot of bread baking lately, and usually I just sort of ignore it. I go for the cups, or if it doesn't give me the cups, I'm like Googling what is 80 fluid ounces to cup. But if you do any kind of baking, even if it's just like desserts, it's not just bread, having a kitchen scale is going to allow you to be so much more accurate with it. I feel like I failed at a lot of bread making in the past simply because I didn't have a kitchen scale. And I was going by the cups or trying to like convert the ounces into cups. So having this has made it so much easier anytime I'm cooking anything that offers grams or ounces in the recipe. And I just like, again, I feel like I'm a lot more successful with the things I'm trying to cook because I'm able to be more accurate with my measurement. All right, next up is my egg organizer. This is one of those things that when I bought it, I didn't know if it was actually gonna be functional or if it was just gonna make my refrigerator look prettier. You know what I mean? Because I was like, well, this does look really nice to have all the eggs in like this little container, right? And they can be like decanted out of the sort of ugly cardboard things they come in. So it got me sort of on looks, but I actually find that I love storing my eggs this way so much more. I think it's easier to quick glance to see how many eggs I have. I just absolutely love this thing. All right, lastly, I want to cover just like actual food at Amazon. I've talked about this before, but I actually find that Amazon is a really great place to go to get some staple pantry items. Now, where I live, there's not a lot of grocery. We actually are getting a Whole Foods. That's gonna be like a 15-minute drive from me. But before that, we just had kind of like two basic grocery chains. So you're kind of like limited to the basic grocery staples, if you will. So I had started going to Amazon because I found that I could get a lot of products that I couldn't always get in the grocery store. Maybe if I wanted something that was organic or, you know, certain brands that were more all natural or like free from certain things, or you know what I mean. So I started going to Amazon for some of that stuff and ended up finding there's like lots of random little sort of like snacks and different things that I can get there that I can get either easier or sometimes more, very often more affordable than I can get on at the grocery store. So I'll have a link down below to my entire Amazon list for just like my favorite pantry and snack essentials that you can get on Amazon. But I'm gonna call out just one product in particular because I feel like it's changed my life, and that is this truffle sauce. This is truffle infused hot sauce. It is not very hot, like it's like milder than a sriracha. And I put this on freaking everything. I pour it on my eggs, I put it on sandwiches, I put it on chicken, I mix it in to like sour cream to make spicy aiolis. It is so freaking delicious and so versatile. Again, it's a hot sauce, but not spicy. All right, my friends, that does it. Some of my favorite Amazon kitchen finds under $20. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and I will share some of my favorite products under $20 for the home, as well as beauty and fashion finds under $20. As always, thank you so much for stopping by and watching. Remember to be kind to yourself and others, and I will see you all in my next video.